Hey guys, Mike Simmons here with a weekly recap coming at you with ticket trends and helpful insights. You probably saw an email, and I sent out an email and it kind of summarized or recapped all of the tickets that we saw, and it broke it down into, this category had this many tickets and that category had that many tickets. But if you're not like a numbers person, you're like, Mike, just get to the point. I'm glad you're watching. So what I wanted to talk about is when you get a battery ticket for Chromebooks. Here's some best practices. Here's what to look at. I was hanging out with Zach. Zach supports 4 sites. He's got Johns Creek Elementary, Sharon Elementary, he's got Brookwood Elementary, and he's got Big Creek Elementary. So he sees a lot of Chromebook 3100 tickets. And trust me, he sees a lot. So he actually gave me an insight. He said, hey, Mike, when you go to replace the battery, if it's not showing up in your Incident IQ timeline, like I can't tell, okay, has the battery been replaced before? I can't really tell. Or remember when we had the Chromebook repair team and they had that little red dot and you put the red dot on the battery? Raise your hand if you were part of that. I can't see you raising your hand, but that's okay. If you were doing the battery replacement crew, I just want to say thank you for doing that. That helped mitigate, our 1,288 tickets. It could have been like 5,000 tickets, but thank you for your hard work in doing that. But if you look at the battery, I've got a picture of a battery pulled up right here, and you see like this little square right here. See that? I never really paid attention to it, but if you want to get a clue as to when this battery was made, this is where you can look. And you see this first part right here. It was CN, it's made in China. It's got some letters, some numbers, all of that gibberish. But this 3 digits right here, see that 3 digits? That's the clue. That's the clue. That first one that says 0, that represents 2020. And in fact, I was kind of getting a little bit of help from my buddy AI. And so I did Google Gemini. I said, hey, how can I see the manufacturer date? And so I was testing this out. I was looking at it. And sure enough, this gives us clues. And so right here on the example, it starts with a 9, and 9 would equal 2019. But our battery starts with a 0. So that means it was manufactured in 2020. And then the second letter, I've got 08, that's the month. And so example 8 equals August. 1 through 9 is January through September. So if you put a number next to it, like January 1, February 2, March 3, so on and so forth, number 8 would actually be August. So this battery right here that I've got, that was made in August of 2020. And so that first number, it matches, like on this number here, it's 2019 August. And so it's 9 is 2019, 0, 2020, 1, 2021, 2, 2022, 3, 2023. So it's really easy to find. So now that I've seen it, I can't unsee it. And I can see actually, okay, this battery, it's been in use for 6 years now. August of 2020 until August of 2026. That's exactly 6 years of time. That's actually pretty good. That's a really good time frame for that battery. And so if that battery's gone out, over time, batteries degraded, it's ready to replace it. So now, don't just take the numbers word for it. So there is a test. Now, if you guys aren't aware, but there's a way to test the battery. So if you get a ticket and you're like, this thing looks fine, I can power it on, everything's working, you can actually run a diagnostic. So if you head over to SiteTech Knowledge Base, and if you don't have it bookmarked yet, I recommend you do it. Go into SiteTech Support, and there's a link up here for Knowledge Base, and you could just say open in a new window and then bookmark it. Once you bookmark it, I can type in something like how to check Chromebook battery health, and it will give me step-by-step what to do. The knowledge base is a really powerful tool. And so all you have to do is log into the Chromebook, step 1. Step 2 is press Control, Alt, and T. That's going to pull up the terminal, the Crosh command, and then type in battery_test and press enter. And what you want to do is once you get that diagnostic test complete, if that number is 30 or higher, it's still good for production, meaning it still can take a test. So it has about an hour of life. If it's less than 30% battery health, then let's go ahead and swap it out. And especially if it's like the Zach battery right here, it's been around for 6 years. We know it's time to swap it out. And so don't worry, the warehouse has a surge of batteries on its way. And so you're not going to run out anytime soon. I want you guys to replace these batteries because we want to, again, prolong the lifespan of technology. Right now, we're not refreshing Chromebooks. We're going to have to wait until we can refresh Chromebooks. So we have to prolong the life by replacing the part. And that's where you guys come in, and it's key. And I just want to thank you so much for your hard work in doing that. The other thing I want to talk about is whenever you encounter any kind of Windows machines, I want you guys to pull up your Tech Tools. And again, if you don't have it like bookmarked, Tech Tools right here, or I've got it bookmarked right here. And inside of Tech Tools, we've got the Dell and HP driver updates. So anytime you put your hands on a Windows machine, make sure you're running those drivers and those BIOS updates. So once you get Tech Tools pulled up, go ahead and run Dell command update. And one thing we noticed is you may have to run the Microsoft.NET desktop runtime first, that executable right there. And then once you run that, then you can run the Dell command update application. What that does is it pulls down all the drivers, the BIOS updates for that machine, and it's going to help it prolong the technology lifespan. It's going to help it run at its best. Same with the HP Support Assistant. Go ahead and run that. I have had reports where it doesn't find everything, so you may want to go to the HP site directly and go ahead and plug in the model, the HP 845G9, and then just look for any drivers or BIOS updates right there. So you can run that specifically for the Dells and the HP models that we have supported in our district. That's going to help huge whenever you see those tickets roll in as well. Last but not least, I want to talk about ClearTouch. Now, ClearTouch, I got this from Jake Sorrow. He had talked about sometimes you might see the checksum battery error message. And let me go ahead and pull this guy up right here. Woo, that really zoomed. Okay. So I've got a ClearTouch panel, and I want to go ahead and make sure it's on the PC side. And sometimes it might boot up and it's on the Android side, right? So you just hit the input, the little gear icon, and you can hit PC. And then as it's starting up, hit F2, right? Remember F2? And from F2, you want to scroll down to that system date and time right there. See that? Date and time. And from date and time, just make sure it's set correctly. Make sure it's today's date and that the time is correct. Sometimes that gets unset or it's not set correctly, and that'll prompt the CMOS error message that you're seeing. It may not truly be a bad CMOS battery, so you don't have to, the good news is you don't have to pull out the PC module and open it up and take out the fan, undo all the screws, and get the CMOS battery. You can just check the BIOS first. All right, once you've got the date and time set correctly, tab on over to where it says Save and Exit. And what you can do is restore defaults. See right there, you can restore the BIOS defaults. But when you restore the defaults, make sure hit yes, and then go back to where it has main and check the date and time. Make sure it's saved correctly. As long as that's saved correctly, go ahead and hit F10 to save and exit. And when it comes to the shutdown page, you want to flip the rocker, the power rocker. Go ahead and physically power it off. Yeah, right there, flip it, and then shut it down. From there, you can power it back up and then listen for it and make sure you don't see any error messages that say checksum CMOS battery. That is a pro tip, and that's going to help you hopefully speed up any of those panel tickets that have to do with the CMOS battery. We may not see many. In fact, I was very happy to see our panel tickets trend downward. We're not seeing a whole lot, but some of the panels, you might see a trend where it's like CMOS battery, sometimes hard drive failures too. I was hearing about a couple hard drive failures, but that's an easy fix. If it's not seeing the solid state hard drive and you've tried everything you can, go ahead and request from the warehouse. It's the M.2 solid state drive hard drive. I did have to replace one at Otwell Middle School last week, but only one in the whole building. And so you may see a couple of those pop up, but I don't see that being a trend either. I just want to give you guys a best practice if you see that happen. I do want to send out an email with some verbatim of all of your 5 stars. This month to date from August, we've had 167 5 stars. We have 98.8% positive feedback. Of those 167 stars, we had only 1 4-star. and 1 1-star. Brandon leading the way with 21 5 stars. Great job, Brandon. Spencer coming in second with 12 5 stars, and then Zach and Rick Ward are tied with 11, and then Cameron and Richard have 10 5 stars. That's a double-digit club right there. Thank you guys, everyone else on the screen right there. I'm going to send that out as an email, and I'll let you guys see all of the amazing feedback that your sites are giving you, because you guys are the best. Thank you so much for tuning in to the weekly recap. And this is your source for all of your helpful insights and ticket trends. I hope you guys have a great week.
Thanks for tuning into the weekly recap, your trusted source for helpful insights and trending solutions to everyday challenges. Have a great week.